Hello there, my name is Stephen Redman and welcome to Pastor's Library. This is the channel where we talk about everything to do with theology books, Christian books, books that might be on a reading list for your seminary course or your bachelor's or master's degrees in biblical theology or in biblical studies. Whatever it is, we're here to help you navigate the pathway to only buying the books that you really ought to, and sorting out the wheat from the chaff, as they might say. So today, I've got something really exciting. In my hand is a 1982 commentary from F. Bruce, a commentary that was outstanding in its day, still pretty good. And this commentary, 228 pages, was, I believe, the very first one in the Word Biblical Commentary series. Now, 41 years later, we have got its follow-up. And I believe that this is the first in the new series of Word Biblical Commentaries under the Zondervan House. So, Zondervan did acquire the Word Biblical Commentaries some time ago. They have continued to make them available. But this 726-page commentary makes a new standard for Word Biblical Commentaries. It does a lot to address some of the difficulties that have been with them, which have been minor but noticeable. And it also provides us with the most up-to-date and authoritative bibliography and word on these two important epistles. Whether you go with a lot of the flow, which is to say that 1 Thessalonians was the first book in the New Testament, or whether you go with F. Bruce and say that Galatians was the first and 1 Thessalonians was written about 2 years later, whichever other camps you belong to, this brand new commentary, which is written by Se-Yoon Kim and F. Bruce, because it's based on his work, this is an absolutely excellent piece of work. And I have to be honest with you, I had something else planned for today, but I couldn't stop myself from just waving this at you and saying, it's worth it, people. It's been worth the wait. Now, what do I mean by it's been worth the wait? You will often hear me say the Word Biblical Commentaries are in general excellent. The textual quality, the amount of research and thought that's gone into them, the technical nature that they achieve, they're absolutely brilliant. But the layout of them is abysmal. What I would say with this is they've gone a long way to improving that. Firstly, the font on the page is a little bit bigger, a little bit more clear. I would suggest to you it's a better font. It's been well thought through. I would say the paper quality is similar. It is whiter than the excessive amount of cream that was in the previous ones. And what they have definitely done is improve the level of footnotes. In fact, footnotes are clear. So there's not a lot on this page. Some pages have got half the page as footnotes. But the point is, they are regular footnotes. The sort of footnotes that you expect to see, that you can cope with, that you can understand. But in general, it has kept the layout of the previous ones, which there's a section on form, structure and setting, and then comment, and then explanation. And those 5 headings basically will continue in this series. Now, I have to say to you, this is such a delight. I've only had this for 2 days, and the 726 pages have not been read yet, I can tell you that. But I have dipped in and dipped out, and I have been absolutely delighted with Professor Kim's wording and his approach. Professor Kim puts it down on record that he was a student of F. Bruce. which I think is wonderful that they have given this to a Brucean student to finish off for us, although he himself now is a professor. This particular commentary has scriptural and authorial indexes. It has a subject index, and it has absolutely excellent bibliography, a general bibliography at the front, which is to die for. It's a brilliant bibliography. And what it does is this provides you with what must be amongst the absolute best 1 and 2 Thessalonians commentaries of the day in terms of its academic worthiness, its technical ability, and its depth of analysis of the text. It provides you with that. It also provides you with a really good bibliography that the author has himself used. And in doing that, it gives you access to all the other best stuff out there. So I have to say, this has an awful lot going for it. I think that the preface written by Professor Kim is also very honouring to F.F. Bruce, although he says that when he'd started it, he was intending to keep more of F.F. Bruce's wording, but he has fundamentally almost rewritten it all, which when it goes from 200 and odd pages to 700 and odd pages, you can understand why. But in doing this, he has been able to incorporate 40 extra years of research into the books, 40 extra years of the best textual interpretation. And I think because Kim does say that he has tried to write it all in the spirit with a little s of F.F. Bruce, I think that's a good solution. And looking at this, I have to say, I am very hopeful for the future of the Word Biblical Commentaries. If they are all going to come out like this is going to put the Word Biblical Commentary back up at the top where it belongs. And to be fair, I could put up with the lousy design, and I have really used these an awful lot over the years. But I just think that the academic world deserved more, and I think they have done probably just enough to retake their place in the pile. There is also an excursus, which is on grey paper. Don't know if you can see that. And it talks about the restraining thing, the restraining person, the lawless man. This goes on about the Antichrist. And I think it is dealing largely, that section is largely still in F.F. Bruce's words. I think it's dealing with what people often want to see. They want to know what the author is saying about 1 Thessalonians 4. They want to know, tell me about the rapture. Well, you will find that Kim's attitude is very much driven by the best academic research, and he handles this very, very well indeed. But I would say to you that it shows off the best possible exegesis, and it will not disappoint you. I would say this is truly a brilliant book. Now, I'm going to look at it in greater depth before I deal with my top Thessalonians commentaries. But what I would say is, watch out now for new volumes from the Word Biblical Commentary published by Zondervan, because this is looking like we might have something really good on our hands. And if Seyoon Kim is demonstrating the standard of other authors that we will get, then we will not be disappointed. So everybody, that has been the delight out of my postbox this week. I am thrilled to bits to get this, and I will talk about it more in due course. I hope it's helped you. If it has, please subscribe, please click on the bell, please leave a comment below. I always want to hear from you, and thank you so much for watching Pastor's Library. Until next time, I will say bye.